What's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larson, and you're listening to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. So here's the real mystery. How do real MLMers like us, who didn't cheat and only bug family members and friends, who want to grow a profitable home business, how do we recruit A players into our downlines and create extra incomes, yet still have plenty of time for the rest of our lives? That's the blaring question, and this podcast will give you the answer. My name is Steve Larson, and welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope the week has gone fantastic for you. I love reading. I actually really love reading. What's funny is I hardly ever get to, ever. But I love books. There's something about a book. And today I want to talk about one of the most influential books, most influential for my career, I should say, that I've ever read. I've read a lot of books. I just dropped another $3,000 on books, built another bookshelf in here. I love books. You think about some authority figure trying to convey an entire career's worth of experience and condense it down, into a couple hundred pages. Oh my gosh, why would you not want to read it? You know what I mean? I'm not actually that fast of a reader. I get too analytical about it, and it takes me like 2 months to read one book, because I read a paragraph and I think about it. And then I take notes, and then I think about it again. And then I write more notes, and then I read the paragraph again. Then I move on to the next one. It takes me forever. I get way too analytical, but I really enjoy it, though. And I hope that you're taking the time to study. Honestly, I believe that one of the main reasons why people stop being relevant is because they stop learning. They don't know their own place in their own ecosystem because they're not seeing the works of the other people inside their own industry. And so if you're not reading, especially in MLM, my gosh, go get a whole bunch of, just look at MLM bestsellers on Amazon, start buying them and read them and drink deeply. So anyways, one of the books I really enjoy is both for the title and for the actual content, is a book called Ready, Fire, Aim. And I guarantee there's a lot of guys who are listening to this now who've probably read this book. It's awesome. It's fascinating. It's fantastic. There are parts of it that are a little bit more nitty gritty, and there's other parts of it that are like, okay, that makes sense, here and there. There was a guy that I was working with at one time, and I actually think I shared some of the story in a previous episode, but I think it's worth to go back over a little bit. But he and I were actually in college, and we were starting. He was getting his wife a new diamond ring, and he's the man, honestly. Good friends, still good friends, but this story taught both of us a lot. And basically, he wanted to get his wife a new diamond ring, and he found a place where you could custom build your diamond ring. And you'd send in all these pictures for the diamond ring, and you'd send it on over, and basically what ended up happening is they would take the 3 or 4 pictures that you'd send in of rings that you like, and they'd send you back this blue wax replica, this blue ring, because it's made of wax. And they wanted to make sure you liked it before they actually created the band and created the diamond ring band. And then you would go and you'd choose your cut and your color and your clarity, and you would go and the shape of the diamond. And it was really quite the fascinating process. Well, anyways, he went through this whole thing and got the ring back, and he decided that he would take it and actually get it appraised at a retail place, So he went and he got the ring appraised at Jensen's. I think that was what it was, like Jensen's rings, and they appraised it at like $1,200. And he was like, "Holy crap!" He bought it straight from the supplier, so it was a lot cheaper. He cut out the middleman, and by doing that, he only paid like $300 for this ring that was retailing for $1,200. We're like, what? That's insane. Oh my gosh, we're these college kids. And he's like, dude, we should sell these. Why don't we do this? And it was like, cool, man, let's do it. And so we started putting all these pieces together and start all these, and we did everything we could and start getting these things together. And it was interesting because it was a lot of work back and forth with these guys to get one ring made. So we sat down and he started coming up with these different plans, like what our future store would look like. And he started coming up with these different plans of our little slogan, what our logo looked like, what our colors were, all this crap in business that actually doesn't turn dollars. And I got frustrated with him, and we're buddies. Hope he's cool with me sharing that. And I got frustrated with him, and I was like, none of this stuff matters, man. This is not what turns a dollar. We're getting we're getting confused with the activities of business rather than business itself, right? Actual sales. And so he, anyway, we went through and we got our first sale, and we're so excited. And I got back to his apartment after classes, and he's like, hey, he's like, hey, dude, it went super well. And I was like, yeah, tell me about it. And he goes, dude, so it was $300, right, to the manufacturer themselves, and it was another $1,200 ring appraisal value. He's like, dude, I sold it for $325, and I was like, what? Like, I was ticked. I was like, $325. We made $25, and he's like, well, yeah, man, I was just trying to give him a good deal. I was like, give us a good deal. You could still you could charge $1,000 and still have a good deal in there, and anyway, and it ended up being this big thing, and we didn't end up continue going with it, which probably should have, probably would have made some actual real change with that if we kept going with it. But there was this fascinating phenomenon that started happening as we were in the middle of planning this thing, right? We were trying to figure out our business model. We were trying to figure out how we actually made money. You should. I don't really look at the comp plan that much. Like, there's much smarter people than I am who actually look through that stuff and tell me the best ways to play it and stuff like that. But you should know your comp plan. Like, how do you actually get paid? What is it do you actually get paid on? Do that thing. Get really good at just that thing. But there's this phenomenon that started as we started planning this, and what started happening was I felt the need to start making everything I was doing a secret, and I was like, crap. No one can hear about this thing because everybody's going to steal it. And it's like this big thing, right? Everyone thinks that. And they're all going to steal my idea. And I had this professor at the time. Actually, it might have been, if it wasn't that exact semester in college, it was a different one. But I had this professor who talked to me about this exact thing. And he goes, what's funny, Stephen, is that most of the time you actually benefit like crazy by sharing your ideas. I was like, what? Like, people are going to steal them. Like, are you kidding me? And that's what I told him. And I'm sure that's what you're thinking too. And I was like, people are going to steal them. Like, no. Like, Mr. Professor, why the heck would I tell everyone my ideas? Like, people are going to take them. They're going to steal them. They're going to go off and sell them. They're going to be the ones that profit from them. I'm going to be the one who gets screwed and lives in a ditch. You know what I mean? And that's how most people treat sometimes their ideas. In fact, a lot of times, their business ideas, the things they want to go do. Maybe it's something fresh angle you have on your MLM. Maybe it's some fresh thing. You know what's funny is I have gained more and revenue has gone up by sharing my idea rather than trying to protect it. And it's exactly what this book, Ready, Fire, Aim, talks about in one of the, it's like a third the way through. And I just wanted to read the quote real quick here because I think it applies exactly to MLM. As you guys are going and you're trying to, you're recruiting, you're working hard, how can you actually get more interaction from people? How can you actually get, the way you do it is by sharing the idea. How do you prove that the idea, it's so funny. A lot of the way the corporate world runs, right, when you actually start a business and you get something out there is, hey, let's go get a whole bunch of VC funding and we'll build this entire business structure before we've ever even made a sale. And then when we've got the structure, then we'll start selling. It's like, no, that's totally backwards. That's totally bad. That's crap. That's backwards. I don't believe that with a single ounce of my soul. First, start selling, right? First, start proving the concept, right? If you've never actually sold your product, it's time to go do it. Sell your stuff. Figure out how to sell it. Figure out how your upline's selling it. Figure out and model them, right? Anyway, so I'm gonna read this here. And specifically, so the book's written by Michael Masterson, and here Michael Masterson's talking about how when it comes to your company, so he's not talking about MLM, but you can apply it to MLM. He's talking about with your company and your employees or your downline or whoever it is, like the people who are in your team, don't hide your secrets from them. Don't hide your ideas from them. Don't hide your, don't hide whatever your secret agendas are. Like, don't have secret agendas. And anyway, that's what he says right here. So he says, here it is. This is on page 116. And I actually took a pen and drew a big box around it. And anyway, he says, resist the temptation to create a culture of cliques and politics in your company by sharing all your knowledge with everybody. Don't hoard your secrets. They will become stronger and more useful to you after you share them. Ooh, powerful. Powerful. Are there any secrets? What are the things you're... Let me read it one more time. Resist the temptation to create a culture of cliques and politics in your company by sharing all of your knowledge with everybody. Don't hoard your secrets. They will become stronger and more useful to you after you share them. And anyway, such a powerful, powerful concept. Most of the time, like I was saying, people go and they're like, hey, well, I want to be able to go and I want to have the upper hand here, so I'm going to withhold information from other people. It's like, no, your idea is going to get stronger. Number one, as you say it, you'll hear what you're saying and realize, oh, that's a stupid idea. Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, expound here. As words are leaving your mouth, you will be improving the idea itself. Second, as your words hit the ears of the other person, they will think, wow, that's interesting. That's really cool. And they'll give you information whether or not they're trying to by their reaction. Well, how was the reaction? Was it a good reaction? Cool. Oh, that's validating. How's that validating? What else would you do with that idea? Is that cool to you? Tell me about that. Or maybe they'll give you a bad reaction. Oh, that sounds stupid. Oh, okay. No, thanks for telling me. What about that sounds stupid to you? What about that idea was not good, right? And when you approach it that way, because what ends up happening is everybody treats their businesses and their ideas and their little things like babies. They're like, this is my little baby. Don't touch it. Don't insult my little child. It's not even full grown yet. In fact, it's not even a child yet. I haven't even tested it. There's not even a freaking sale behind it. But don't you dare stab my idea in the heart. Right? And they start treating their business that way. And they start MLM. And they'll do things like not call it MLM for the sake of trying to look like it's something else. Call it MLM. It's MLM, or whatever. But don't be afraid of your own industry. Don't be afraid of, it's like Voldemort and Harry Potter. You're not trying to, the industry which must not be named, be open and honest about it and what it is that you do. And what's funny is when you have those ideas and you start sharing them, they will actually build and grow and you'll see connections, right? Ideas work when you start to mull your head over them. And when you start to push those ideas out to others and watch the reactions come back, that's data. Whether subconsciously, you may not even be thinking about it. And the idea gets better, and the idea gets better, and the idea gets better. Think about your MLM. What can you do that nobody else is doing in your upline or downline? And one of the easiest ways to come up with what that is to look at who is being most successful in your MLM. I guarantee you there are other things that they've been selling or doing or whatever. They've created some kind of offer. They've created some kind of cool thing. When you join my downline, you get X, Y, and Z to help you in your path, right? That's proprietary that nobody else has. Well, figure out what that stuff is and go create your own version of it, and take that idea and go expound that. Talk about it with your downline. Talk about it with your team. Be a team. Share those ideas back and forth. What's funny is when I learned that concept, that was about 4 years ago, and so I started sharing all my ideas. And I think there's maybe one guy in the tens of thousands of people who've downloaded some of my episodes, whether on this show or my other show, or speaking on stage several times, or you know what I mean? Like there's maybe one person ever who has maybe come close to what my idea actually was and replicating it. 98% of people are going to hear your idea, react somehow, give you some kind of spin-off on it, whether or not they like it or don't like it, and they'll never do anything with it. 98, tons of people. Maybe 1% were going to be like, oh, that's so cool, I should do that. But they're not going to do anything, right? And then maybe like half of 1% of people are actually going to actually try and actually launch and do. But you know what's funny? What's cool about humanity? We're all so different. Even if they actually go do launch your thing, good for them. It's going to be different than how you were planning on doing it anyway. And competition is good. Don't fear it. If they launch something and it's similar to yours and it fails, well, shoot, good. I mean, that just saved you, didn't it? Go figure out why it failed, improve on it, relaunch it, and be successful with it. Like that's like half of the medical industry. I mean, medicine and stuff. Anyway, so competition's good. Don't hoard the idea. I had the phrase go through my head as I was starting to think through this episode. Secrets are no fun unless I am a part of one. But I really kind of wanted to kill that last part and say secrets are no fun. We'll just call that episode that for this one because that's the whole premise. That's the whole idea of the episode is that I just wanted to, like, your secrets and the little plans that you have, they do nothing for you when they're just sitting in your head. They do nothing. Your whole challenge and the joy of entrepreneurship comes when you choose to create and bring to life something that never existed before. That's powerful. That's why I do this. I love to create stuff, and I have obsessed over the process of creation for the last 4 years. And that's my favorite part. Creating something that never existed before that brings value to the world and legitimately solves actual problems in the market. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. And the only way I've ever found to actually be successful with it is to share my ideas like crazy. Hence, this entire podcast, which is showing you my whole process as I'm actually creating the Secret MLM Hacks product. I am documenting my journey along the way as I've been building this thing. Right? This is my 4th launch of it. I launched it once, figured out it was wrong, took it out. Fixed the thing, relaunched it. Cool, that was fixed, but now this part was too hard, or I didn't clarify this enough. Took it off. Relaunched it, put it out, and it's iteration, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I didn't fall in love with the product. I realized that it was always broken. It's the same thing with your MLM. Your MLM, out of the box, is broken. You have got to figure out how to iterate off of what your corporate has already done with it. And it's your business, so treat it like a business. How can you create something new in the marketplace? How can you create value? How can you put something out there that's never existed before? That's going to come with a lot of ideas. That's exactly what my product is supposed, shows you how to do. That's all I do on a day-to-day basis. That is literally my job, is I create products, info products specifically online. And so I'm just taking those same formulas that we use that have made millions of dollars, and I'm showing you how we do it, and we're doing it in the MLM space, and it's working. So that's what the whole product's about, and I'm excited to do it. And it's been idea after idea after idea, and there's probably, I'm not talking about my downline, I'm talking about the actual company, Secret MLM Hacks. There's probably 6 or 7 people on my team now. I'm talking about the actual company, Secret MLM Hacks. And then there's probably another 25 people on top of that who I tell everything to. And I bounce all of my ideas off of. And I don't hold anything back. And what's funny is they'll either say, hey, that's awesome. They don't want anything to do with it. That's fine. Or they'll say, hey, that's awesome. I got something for you that you weren't thinking about. Or they'll say, hey, that's cool. Actually, I don't want to do that at all. That's a bad idea. And I can ask them why. And it just doesn't. Anyway, I think I'm beating a dead horse now, but I'm just trying to tell you, don't hold back your ideas. Don't create secrets. Just be super open and crazy vulnerable, and you'll actually find more success as you do so. Don't be too postured. Don't be too, and people will see you more as a human being because of it. They'll be able to add to what you're already trying to do. They'll see the vision that you're trying to attain, and they'll help you gain it. People want to do that. They love it. They love it. Anyway, that's the whole part of it. Secrets are no fun. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later, and go crush it. Break some personal records. Hey, thanks for listening. Please remember to subscribe and leave feedback for me. Do you have a question you want answered live on the show? Go to secretmlmhacksradio.com to submit your question and download your free MLM Masters Pack.